Military training plays a fundamental role in shaping decision-making, as it equips soldiers, officers, and leaders with the mental, emotional, and physical skills needed to navigate complex and high-pressure environments. Military decision-making is unique because it often occurs under stressful, time-sensitive, and ambiguous circumstances where lives and national interests are at stake. Here's a detailed look at how military training impacts decision-making across various levels and contexts. Number 10. The principles of military decision-making. At the core of military decision-making are certain principles that guide the process. Decisiveness. Military decisions often need to be made quickly to outmaneuver the enemy or capitalize on fleeting opportunities. Adaptability. Military personnel are trained to adapt to changing circumstances on the battlefield, whether dealing with new intelligence, unexpected enemy actions, or environmental conditions. Risk management. Military training instills a strong sense of managing and mitigating risks while balancing the need for action, chain of command, and responsibility. Decision-making is often hierarchical, with clear lines of authority and responsibility, but junior leaders are also trained to take initiative when necessary. Number 9. Operational planning and decision-making models. Military training includes several structured decision-making models, which are ingrained into personnel at all levels. OODA Loop, observe, orient, decide, act. Observe. Gather information from the environment and battlefield. Orient. Analyze and contextualize that information based on experience and understanding. Decide. Choose the best course of action based on available information. Act. Execute the decision swiftly. Application. The OODA Loop, developed by U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd, emphasizes speed and flexibility in decision-making. It is particularly valuable in dynamic, fast-paced combat situations where delays can be costly. MDMP, Military Decision-Making Process. A more formal and structured approach used for planning operations, MDMP includes steps such as mission analysis, course of action development, comparison, and decision-making. This process ensures a thorough analysis of all factors before action is taken, and it's used for longer-term strategic and operational planning. Application. MDMP is typically employed at the operational and strategic levels when more time is available to deliberate over complex situations. These models guide military personnel in making methodical, informed decisions, even when the situation is chaotic. Number 8. Stress management and decision-making under pressure. Military personnel are trained to make effective decisions under conditions of extreme stress and uncertainty. This is critical because decisions made under stress can be prone to cognitive biases and errors if not properly managed. Simulated combat training. Military exercises often simulate high-stress environments through live fire drills, mock combat scenarios, and other stressful conditions to prepare soldiers for real-world pressure. Repeated exposure to stressful situations helps desensitize individuals to anxiety, allowing for better focus and clearer decision-making. Stress inoculation training, SIT. This training exposes individuals to progressively more stressful situations in a controlled manner. Over time, soldiers develop resilience and a psychological framework for remaining calm and clear-headed in critical moments. Key outcomes: emotional regulation. Military training teaches personnel how to control their emotions in the face of fear, danger, or uncertainty, ensuring that emotional responses do not cloud judgment. Cognitive load reduction. Training helps soldiers manage cognitive overload by focusing on the most essential tasks, prioritizing decisions, and delegating responsibilities. Number 7. Repetition and muscle memory. The importance of drills. Drill and practice. Repetitive drills are a cornerstone of military training. Whether it's assembling a weapon, performing first aid, or executing battle maneuvers, repetition builds muscle memory, which allows soldiers to react quickly and instinctively without needing to consciously think through every step. Application. In combat situations, where time is critical, reliance on muscle memory enables faster decision-making and action. For example, when a soldier encounters a malfunctioning weapon, muscle memory allows them to instinctively clear the jam without pausing to deliberate. Scenario-based training. Soldiers are often placed in simulated battlefield environments where they must make quick decisions while under fire or facing other threats. This repetitive exposure to simulated danger conditions the brain to make decisions quickly and effectively during real-world engagements. Number 6. Critical thinking and tactical decision-making. Problem solving. Military training encourages a problem-solving mindset, focusing on the need to evaluate situations from multiple perspectives, weigh various options, and identify the best course of action, even in rapidly evolving scenarios. Battlefield decision-making. Tactical decision-making on the battlefield often involves real-time assessments of terrain, enemy position, available resources, and mission objectives. Soldiers and commanders are trained to develop flexible plans and contingencies. Mission command philosophy. In modern militaries, especially in NATO and the US, the mission command philosophy allows for decentralized decision-making. Lower-level commanders and soldiers are given the freedom to act on their initiative within the commander's intent. Key benefit. This approach fosters independent thinking, as troops are trained to understand not just what to do, but why they are doing it. This allows for adaptive decision-making when communication with higher command is impossible or delayed. Number 5. Cognitive biases and decision-making heuristics. Bias awareness training. Military personnel are trained to recognize common cognitive biases, e.g., confirmation bias, status quo bias, that can distort decision-making. Confirmation bias. Tendency to prioritize information that supports one's preconceptions. In a combat scenario, this can lead to ignoring contrary intelligence that suggests a change in enemy behavior. Anchoring bias. Relying too heavily on the first piece of information received. In battle, this might mean sticking to an initial plan even when new data suggests a different approach. Heuristics in decision-making. Military personnel are trained to use heuristics, mental shortcuts that enable quick decision-making in high-pressure environments. However, they are also taught when to override these heuristics with deeper analysis to avoid errors. Number 4. Ethical decision-making in military training. Rules of engagement, ROE. Military personnel are trained in ethical decision-making through a thorough understanding of the rules of engagement and international laws such as the Geneva Conventions. Application. Soldiers must balance operational necessity with ethical considerations, making decisions that avoid unnecessary civilian harm while still achieving military objectives. Moral courage training. Military training emphasizes the importance of moral courage, teaching soldiers to make difficult decisions such as reporting misconduct or refusing unlawful orders. Case study example. U.S. military personnel are trained in ethical decision-making through programs that teach the consequences of unlawful actions, including high-profile historical events such as the My Lai Massacre, Vietnam War, and the importance of individual accountability in combat situations. Number 3. Team decision-making and leadership training. Team dynamics. Military training places heavy emphasis on teamwork and collective decision-making. In combat, decisions are often made at the squad or platoon level, with multiple individuals contributing information and expertise. Leader-follower relationships. Training instills the importance of clear communication between leaders and subordinates, ensuring that orders are both understood and questioned when appropriate. Combat leadership training. Officers undergo specialized training focused on leadership in combat, where they must make decisions that affect not only the mission, but also the lives of their subordinates. Risk versus reward. Leaders are taught to make tough decisions, such as weighing the potential loss of life against the mission's strategic value, or when to push forward versus when to retreat. After-action reviews, AARS. Military units regularly conduct AARS after exercises and missions. These reviews foster a culture of learning from past decisions, where all members of the unit can contribute to an analysis of what went right and what went wrong. Number 2, the role of advanced technology in decision-making. Decision Support Systems, DSS. Modern militaries are increasingly using artificial intelligence and decision support systems to assist in decision-making. These systems analyze vast amounts of data, surveillance, satellite imagery, intelligence reports to provide real-time insights that help commanders make informed decisions. Application. In the Gulf War and Iraq War, U.S. forces used advanced GPS systems, real-time satellite imagery, and battlefield surveillance drones to guide decision-making. Training with AI and simulations. Military personnel now often train with AI-driven simulations, which expose them to more complex and realistic scenarios than ever before. These simulations help refine decision-making skills in scenarios ranging from cyber attacks to large-scale conventional warfare. Number 1. Long-term impact on decision-making beyond the military. Post-service career success. Military decision-making training often translates into leadership and executive roles in the civilian world. Veterans bring with them the ability to handle stressful situations, think strategically, and lead teams, which is highly valued in business, government, and emergency response sectors. Personal decision-making. Many former military personnel report that the training they received in making rapid, informed, and ethical decisions helps them in their personal lives, allowing them to remain calm and rational under pressure. Conclusion. Military training profoundly shapes decision-making at all levels, from the individual soldier in a firefight to strategic-level commanders. If you found this content insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating world of military strategy and training. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive into the impact of emerging technologies on modern warfare.